Yo guys, I'm Yellow, the Norwegian hardcore PC gamer, and today we are going to talk about mechanical keyboards. I'm now actually, seriously, on my second mechanical keyboard after breaking and just by using the keyboard too much. I was able to tear apart a button inside in the sense that it now does not function reliably anymore. It still does work, it didn't really fall apart, but it's seriously 100% unreliable, and it even has some fun RNG elements to itself now, which makes it the more, just more annoying to use, okay? So let's start then with some of the basics regarding my old keyboard, which is the 6GV2 right here. I'm not gonna throw it away, and I will explain why later in the video. The W key, along with the VAST keys, however, are just about gone. You can't see the letter anymore, yeah, that's one hell of a amount of hours this one have been able to withstand before it got broken in that sort of way. Now, I know that you can fix it in some sort of way, but really, since it got a complete set of black switches, I just would not be bothered. They are not as good as reds, especially since the force that you have to push down in order to make it work is seriously different. I'll get into that as well. However, the big point with this keyboard though is the matter of fact that it have now withstood 6K hours of FPS gaming. 1K in H1C1 over a long amount of time, 1K of CS on my Smurf account, and 4K hours on my main account. Which is a lot more serious gaming, aside from a metric ton of typing, editing, replying to people in the comment section and whatnot. Luckily though, YouTube have simplified that a bit more, and I don't drown in comments anymore, unless my videos will do good this summer, who the fuck knows. If that happens, I'm gonna fucking drown. But either way, point though should be pretty firm. This one have gone through hell and back, and one button have finally died. If you want to keep a mechanical keyboard, you can open them up, find some sort of guide, be a bit brutal, take a soldering iron, and just literally, if you know how a soldering iron work, that is, remove the button that is broken, switch it out with one of those that you never use, and you can repeat that process probably for a few more K hours before another button breaks, because most people use the VAST key area on their keyboard a metric ton. Also, by the way, assuming you don't spill anything on your keyboard, I only spilled soda on this one twice in its lifetime, and I've had it since like 2013 winter or something, so that's quite a long time span for this keyboard to stay alive. However, my upgrade though, I'll show you as well, and it's a pretty basic upgrade. I decided to go for Steel Series once again, and the only reason is two basic reasons. Number one, I was able to grab it for 700 Norwegian crowns. That equates to about 90 bucks USD, and that is incredibly good pricing, considering on the site the actual advertised pricing is ridiculous. Now, it's super old, so that might be the reason. They told me that they're not going to take any more of these keyboards in, so that is the keyboard that I'm now rocking. Obviously, the keyboard button layout here is a bit different since I live in Norway, and it's a Scandinavian layout. There we go. My English is not too broken yet, hopefully. But yeah, either way, the point though is that this one comes with a full set of red switches and some lighting that I don't really care too much about, even though I actually had that in the keyboard previous to the one Steel Series I have right here. So either way, it is currently thus replacing what I currently have, and the switches is what I really want to show you guys, because it kind of makes or breaks what you should go for in a keyboard. Look behind on any box of any keyboard ever that you take a look at and read about, because, and also by the way, when you test it out, you can truly learn a lot about exactly what you want in a keyboard just by the button design itself. Now, black's top left is what I had before, and the same basic design, but the only difference is like the activation force is what I'm going with now. I'm going with the Cherry MX Reds, and they are for pro gamers and gamers that are a lot more dedicated, hardcore, or heavy-handed in terms of just playing for a longer amount of time. Those types of people tend to enjoy this button more. I think that it's based solely upon the activation force being 45 grams, so your finger don't have to spend as much force as the 60 grams that my black keyboard is currently made with. Aside from that though, most of the specs are fairly similar to all the other Cherry MX buttons. Now, a serious difference to point out though is that these extra bumps, they are just noisy, so I personally don't like them, especially in typing scenarios. And that's aside from the people that are a lot more rich or just want the best of the best, you can actually get the topper switch, which basically works like space technology. So just Google mechanical keyboard switches and you'll find this lovely moving picture, and you can read all about all of these different technologies throughout times here yourself if you're interested in some technical knowledge. Despite that though, Cherry MX Reds, get that on any keyboard and you're pretty much good to go. And especially if you have a soldering iron, you can just remove the broken button, repeat the process until you seriously have no seriously important button left that still you want to function and whatnot, and you're good to go, really. And that's aside from, by the way, like, some keyboards really, like, you can just stick with them. A lot of keyboards are not really going to make or break how well you perform in a game. It's it's mostly and almost always going to come down to how much practice you put in, how much muscle memory and hand-to-eye coordination can you fit into your practicing schedule, and thus translate that into the game. If you can't do this, having a great keyboard is only going to be a breeze and almost not going to be an advantage whatsoever, and that's really up to what you want to do. If you want to stick to a membrane keyboard or an older mechanical keyboard or any annoying type of switch, go for it. You do it, like, the more power to you. Fact is that only the more you practice is where you will see the most benefit. And so if you're not that type of guy and you just want to use a membrane keyboard, or maybe you can't afford something better, that is completely fine, because fact is that CSGO is such an intricate game. There's like a million other things that you can get a lot better at, and because of that, this is not going to nearly have that much of an impact in a gaming scenario unless you are basically a hardcore PC gamer, which yeah, my intro is kind of silly, but you know what, I think because of how I broke this keyboard, it all makes a little bit more sense now, doesn't it? But either way, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and hopefully this was very informative in terms of teaching you guys not just about mechanical buttons and switches and whatnot, but what you might want to look for and what you might want to do in the future. If you want to support this channel in any way, shape, or form, just like the video, subscribe maybe if you haven't done already, share the video around. That would help in this climate of crazy YouTube. So that's about it, really. Thanks for watching, have a nice day, and don't get beastified when you play.